All right, well today Gage and I are gonna show you our baby boxes. So we're gonna show you how we store and keep all those special things from when our kids are little, and also our philosophy around how we decide which things to keep. So we'll share that with you coming up next. Well, hi, I'm Dawn from theminimalmom.com, and this is our youngest little guy, Gage. And so Gage, can you say how old you are? You just had a birthday. 4. Our baby just turned 4, which I am having a really hard time believing, but luckily he said he's not gonna get any older now, right? Is that what you said? You stay my baby? Today we're gonna show you how we store the things from when the kids were babies that we have decided to keep, and just kind of our philosophy around it. Okay, so these containers that we use, I just bought these at Walmart. In our last house, I actually stored them under our bed, but obviously you can just pick a size container that fits for your house. If you're living in an RV, like, this wouldn't work, but we have enough space to store these. Basically, the things we keep inside are just a few favorite outfits and, their hospital bracelets, little cards that were in their bassinets at the hospital. For some of the kids, I have like the cake toppers from their first birthday cakes, invitations to the parties or baby showers. And then I did keep all of the cards that we received in the hospital or any notes off of flowers. Should we show them what's inside your box, Kate? I think yours has the least stuff in it. So by our 4th baby, we realized we actually didn't need that much stuff for babies, right? So you actually didn't have a ton of clothes, Gagey. But then in here, this is where we just kept, different cards. We got a birth certificate. It has his little footprints. That's what you wore home from the hospital. Can you show us what it says? Or what's on it?
A motorcycle.
A motorcycle. And do you see the little hat in there that you wore home from the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that say on it? It says, tough guy. So we have all the outfits that the kids wore home from the hospital. And then even into their first year, I would just throw in like some favorite outfits, or our second oldest was like totally into shoes. So even until she was 2 or 3, I would throw a few pairs of shoes in. So this has been super fun. And even, as the kids over the years, they've put a few things in it themselves. And anytime I've pulled them out, they want to go through it. They want to hear the stories about it. I'll show you my absolute favorite thing. This is my favorite thing out of any of our baby boxes. Every time I see it, it just makes me smile, because our 3rd oldest, we were told when we had the ultrasound that he was going to be a girl. And so Tom's sister gave us this for Christmas before he was born in February. And so we had the surprise of a lifetime when he came out a boy. But what was even funnier about it is that when they did the ultrasound, it was the doctor that did the ultrasound, and he knew we had 2 girls. He knew Tom, of course, we wanted a healthy baby, but Tom thought it would have been fun to have a boy at that point, And so he's doing the ultrasound. He's like, oh, no, it's a girl. He's like, I don't normally give percentages, but 95% sure it's a girl. And then he even went as far to say, I have a little more time right now, so I'll just check again. He's like, sorry, he did not want to give Tom any hope for a boy. And so he said, nope, it looks like it's a girl. And so we're in the delivery room, not even thinking that it could be anything but a girl. And then the doctor goes, it's a boy. And Tom goes, it's a boy. And I start crying, and I'm like, don't mess with me. And so sure enough, it was a boy. And the nurse, we had been talking about what our girl name was going to be. And she's like, oh no, you don't have a boy name. And we said, nope, we've had a boy name picked out since before we had our first daughter. And so we knew his name was gonna be Corbin. And so it is fun to be able to go through these boxes and to, reminisce and to see the little outfits that they wore. But here's the thing I want to encourage you about. We got our first smartphone when our oldest was just a couple weeks old. So I don't know how old your kids are, but we have no shortage of pictures. So I know that this stuff is fun to keep, but we have so many pictures too that we can use to jog these memories and to reminisce about. But the other thing too is that, I see so many things just throughout my day, whether I'm shopping or see something at a thrift store or a garage sale or something another baby does, and it sparks those memories. So I don't think we have to worry that we have to, archive everything they do and say and everything they come home with, that we're going to forget about it, or we're not going to be able to remember this really, sweet time. And then, like I said, these boxes have kind of grown with them. They started out as baby boxes, but we stick other things in, certificates and awards and different things like that. So they've kind of evolved. I know that's one thing parents ask, but, even with certificates and awards and things like that, we try to just pick the ones that are really significant to that child. When our second moved up a level in reading at school, that was a huge deal for her, and we went out to eat to celebrate because it was such a big deal. When our oldest moves up a reading level, it's not that it's insignificant, but she hasn't had to work hard to get to that point. There's other things that we've celebrated with her. And so we don't try and keep everything. We just try and keep the things that are most significant and meaningful to that child. Oh, and I do want to show you. So I do have my own scrap box as well. I've had this for about 10 years. So obviously I don't keep everything, or it would have been filled a bunch of times already. But oh, check this out. This my mom just gave to me, glamour shots from when I was 16. It was a gift to my sister and I. But I do just put gifts in here. Like this was from Mother's Day. And this is where that gift from my daughter that I got for my birthday, and I mentioned in the paper clutter video, is gonna go as well. So I don't get rid of everything, but I also don't try and keep everything. And one other thing I do want to mention, though, I'm always aware of this whenever we're talking about kids things and babies and all of that. If you've struggled with infertility or miscarriage, I'm so sorry. We've experienced miscarriage, but it was in the midst of having kids. We haven't had issues with infertility, and so we've only experienced it through friends and family members. But if that's a path that you've been down or are currently struggling with, I am sorry, and I know people often say you should be grateful for what you have, because not everyone is as fortunate, and we try so hard to not take it for granted, and we feel incredibly blessed. I can't even tell you, but I think it's also been one of the reasons I felt so passionately about simplifying our life is because we've been given such an incredible gift, and I want to appreciate it and, just be able to fully enjoy it and experience it. Not that it's easy all of the time, obviously, but I really have found that by simplifying our house and our life and truly not trying to keep everything as a token of the past, that we've gotten to a place, we're able to enjoy our kids and the time that we have with them. And also, I did want to mention again that book, The 5 Love Languages for Children. I mentioned it in my paper clutter video, and a lot of parents echoed that it was a really powerful book for them. So like I said, Tom and I are going to talk about it in an upcoming video, and if you wanted to have a chance to listen to it or read it before then, I'm going to include that link to Audible down below. So you could download that book for free and have it for 30 days for free. So I think that's a pretty good deal. You don't really have anything to lose. So that link is down below. And certainly if you have any ideas of how you store, baby items, leave that down below, or if you have any questions about what we put in the boxes, leave that below as well. So they give a thumbs up to this video. As always, the best compliment you can give us is a thumbs up.